Dogs Are the Best People, a song which is written and sang by the Fives, Faubes. They are a band based in Australia, very 90s grungy rock, if you like rock and grunge. You will probably like them. They only have a couple of hit songs. Dogs Are the Best People. And there's also another song, The Driver Is You, which is featured in this old video game called Quarantine, which is a driving based game, also made in the 90s, I believe. It's a game where you basically play as a taxi driver in this very weird city that's futuristic but very trashy. It's very interesting. But that song is featured on there. There's a lot. That game is also Australian. There's a lot of Australian-based songs on that game, and this was one of them. The Driver Is You, which I think I find that song a lot better, or at least I find that song like a hit song over Dogs Are the Best People. But that's just my opinion. They don't have The Driver Is You on Spotify. You would have to go on YouTube and search that up if you truly want to listen to it. Oh, I'm sure it's on other platforms too, but for whatever reason, it's not on Spotify. I don't know what's going on there. But they do have Dogs Are the Best People, and that is, I would say, their second hit. But overall, that is their number one hit. I'm not sure if Australia they play that song or not on their radio stations, but and it's interesting because I do listen to an Australian radio station on my time off, or sometimes when I'm at work, I like to listen to them, just to see. And like, it's always interesting to listen to radio stations outside of the country that you live in, because it's just a different world, a different culture, different everything going on. So you just never know like what you're gonna hear. Like, the commercials over there are so different. The DJs or disc jockeys are so different over there. Everything is different, but also the same. It's wild. It's crazy. I recommend, if you have any other country that you're just curious of, just take us time to just listen to the radio. If you like music, you can definitely go on Google. You can search up radio apps. You can do whatever, and you can listen to other radios outside of other countries. And I think that's pretty cool, because then you get to really be more involved in what's going on. Now, I also like to listen to Hungarian radio as well. Because my background, I'm not from Hungary, but a lot of my family is, and so Hungary, to keep up with the language and everything, I not only watch on Disney. You can change your language settings to Hungarian and Magyar, but you can also, listen to the radio. There's so many options out there where it's just, you can surround yourself with the language if you truly try to. So that's what I try to do, is try to upkeep with that language by listening to radios and just watching shows here and there that are in Hungarian. But dogs are the best people. I mean, how can you hate a dog? I mean, in my life, not everyone's going to like a dog, obviously. But in my life, I grew up with dogs. I've always had a dog. And I knew whenever I would to move out, I was definitely going to get a dog. Like, how could I not? Dogs are just something in my family. My grandma always had dogs, and for whatever reason, she always wanted a little Yorkie and a little white fluffy poodle dog thing. I'm not sure how to describe that, but it's just a small little white fluffy dog that she always wanted. And all my life growing up, past generations of dogs, it's always been a Yorkie and a white fluffy dog. They were adorable, though. So having to grow up with that, they were always fun to play with. And as a kid, in my parents, they had a Great Dane when I was a kid. I think, how old was I? I must have been, probably, I was young. I can't remember how old I was. Maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe younger, maybe older. Somewhere around that time frame is when they got a Great Dane. And it was like our first family dog, and her name was Angel, and she was a great dog. I mean, she could go nowhere wrong. She was chill. She was nice. Everyone in my friends in the neighborhood, they always liked her. People always loved petting her. Like, she was just a great dog. Very nice dog. Couldn't go wrong. So I recommend having a dog. Anyways, I mean, if you have time to take care of them, of course. I have multiple dogs here in my house. I have a husky, which is old, about 10, 11 years. I'm not sure, but old. She was brought by my partner, who I'm currently with. So that was her dog, and I moved in with her, and yeah, always took care of her. Went to the beaches and stuff like that with the dog, and eventually, her friend, my partner's friend, had a litter of puppies, and so she was trying to get rid of them, and so I got this. This is like my very first own dog of mine. I've never truly had my own dog before until like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we were pretty much one of the first to select which puppy we wanted, and every puppy was almost a unique color and just unique in general. And so we were browsing through the pictures, and of course we went to see all the pups. And when we went to see all the pups, it was this white little dog with little bits of gray around her, and it was a girl, and I named her Nova Dale, and I thought that out of the bunch she was just the cutest dog ever. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you're just looking at a bunch of puppies, but you see the one that you really want. It was just no contest. And I mean, her and I, we did so many things together. We always went out. We always go out. Even I took her to the beaches. Always took her out of town. We travel a lot together. We did so much, and she's still so young, and I'm just happy to have her. I plan on doing a lot more things with her. Just, trying to be a decent human being and give the dogs the best life they can definitely have. And then after her, my last and third dog that I have in the house is a German Shepherd. Now, this is quite an interesting story because we didn't go out of our way to get this dog. This dog went out of its way to come to us. What I mean is that before I moved here, at my old neighborhood, at my old house, there's this dog that was just kind of jumping fences, and it was a German Shepherd. And it was the whole neighborhood almost had the steel fences, the cagey like ones, not cagey like ones. What is it called? Just steel fence. It was just climbing through fences and steel link fences. He was just climbing through those fences, and for a big dog, that's probably not optimal. And he eventually came around to my yard and never left. And he was definitely not like the friendliest at first, but eventually he didn't want to leave, and he caved in, and we were the first to notice. And we gave him water, we gave him food, and we had posted all over social media. We had posted in the neighborhood community. We had posted as much as we could. We had texted people, friends and family. We have texted a lot of neighbors. We have gone out of our way to just try to figure out whose dog this is. And the poor thing was only like, I believe, just 2 years old, 3 years old, something like that. And there was no chip to him. He had no collar on. It was just this mysterious dog that showed up. And there's nothing wrong with him. I know a lot of people out there are cruel, where they will train animals to death for competitions and stuff like that. And I know that German Shepherds are one of those breeds where they do a lot with. Like police, they have most of their canine units are German Shepherds. I know Their German Shepherds are very reliable. They know you can teach them a lot of tricks. They are great at property defense. They're great in so many different aspects of just owning one. There's so many great things to having one, because that's one of the most feared dogs other than a pit bull. Even though pit bulls are just freaking silly and adorable. I love pit bulls. Most feared dogs is definitely a German Shepherd because of the power that they have. But the one we have, he eventually he adopted us. I mean, essentially, like, as a family, when you go out and get a dog, you're adopting it, or you should adopt. I try not to buy dogs. I try not to buy animals in general. I mean, but dogs and cats, I don't believe in buying, and because I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Something about it just doesn't feel right in comparison to adopting a dog that deserves a second chance. I think that means a lot. So adopting a dog and saving its life, that's what matters the most. So this dog just kind of appeared out of nowhere and said hello, and we said hello, and he just didn't want to leave, and he was just nice. That's another thing about dogs, is that I don't know what his background story was either. I don't know why he was the way he was when we first got to him. Again, he wasn't the friendliest. He would bark, and I guess he was scared. I guess a previous owner had to have been not so nice to him. And that's just assumption, though. I can't say for sure, but dogs have a reason for most things, and so if a dog's unfriendly, there's a reason to it. It could have had a previous owner that just trained it that way, for all I know. But ever since we kind of just adopted him to our family, he's been nothing but nice, to us anyways. We don't, unfortunately, we don't really have him go out there. I take him car rides here and there. He'll stick his head out, and he doesn't do anything stupid. He doesn't try to climb out the window. He doesn't try to bark at other people or anything like that. So he'll go on those little car rides and stick his head out, and he enjoys that. So give him a little life to him. I've got a pretty big property, so he roams a lot. It's good to have property and have just dogs doing whatever. At least I like having my private space and just letting dogs do whatever they want together. I think that's pretty good to have, is the freedom where they can just roam around, walk around, play together. They all react well together, and that's what I like about the family of dogs that we have. They just all love each other. Dogs, oh dogs. Oh, I wanted to say, speaking about Australian bands from earlier, there's also this Australian band called Custard, and this is also one of those 90s rock bands, and they have some good songs on here as well. Again, just one of those other bands that aren't or as popular. I'm sure they're a lot more popular in Australia, where they're from, and that's where they do most of their touring. Some of these Australian bands. There is a lead singer in this band named David McCormack, and he also conveniently plays as Bandit on the show Bluey. If anyone's ever heard of Bluey, it is a kids show, and it's about this dog family, and it's Australian based, and I think it's probably one of the best kids shows out there. Just to me, it's entertaining to both the children and to the adults, because there's a lot of relatable things that premieres on that show that I feel like everyone can associate with, and I feel like they've done a real good job at valuable life lessons and teaching adults how to handle situations and just this and that. I mean, and then they keep it pretty entertaining as well. It's adorable, it's fun. I recommend that show for any children, any child of any age. I just think that's just one of those shows that I think is one of the good ones out there. It's not like a typical kids show where it's all 3D animation and stuff like that. No, this show's different. It's unique. It's nice. It's nice to have something unique. I think this is one of those shows that a lot of kids are going to grow up to, and in the next 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to be seeing a lot of people on, if Instagram and Facebook and whatnot is still around. If that's still around and the kids get older and they get to that age, they're going to talk about how great that show was. You know, how like in our generation we talk about Blue's Clues and The Wiggles and so on and so forth. Our kids shows are definitely different from their shows that are they're going to grow up to. And so I think Bluey is definitely going to be talked about for the next 15, 20 years, and these kids are going to be talking about how great the show was and that they probably show their kids that show and stuff like that. And I'm kind of excited for the Bluey movie. They are currently making the Bluey movie, and I'm pretty excited for its release. I mean, I'm definitely going to take my kid there because he seems to be a huge fan of Bluey. I mean, he can't go a day without going into a store, and there's always a Bluey product, right? There's going to be a toy somewhere or just something with a picture of Bluey, and he's going to see that Bluey, and he gets excited, and he just starts dancing a little bit and singing to that song. It's like one of the most adorable things out there is just my son reacting to Bluey. And my son loves our dogs too, and the dogs love him. And that's also another great thing about having this space is that like he just plays with them all day, every day. So I can feel the love in the air. I can feel the energy. Everyone's having a great time. Oh man, it's good to have a dog. If you have dogs, comment below, post about them. I want to see dogs. I like dogs. I mean, I've always wanted a dog, and I feel like my dreams just kind of come true with this kind of stuff. I mean, how could you not have a dog? I mean, if you're working or if you're single and you don't have the time, I understand. I also would have a cat. I mean, I do have cats, but I'm not going to talk about the cats. But if I were definitely to live alone, I would definitely have to have a cat with me. I need some sort of animal. I need some sort of life with me in the same room. Just the same something to keep me occupied with, because, I don't know, it can't be that lonely. I know my best friend, he grew up without an animal, and so he's recently got his own place with his partner, and they got a cat. He's got a cat, so it's adorable. So I definitely recommend cats and dogs and all sorts of animals. It doesn't have to be just cats and dogs. I don't like snakes, but you can have a snake. I know every time someone mentions that they want a snake, I say, as long as it's not near me, that's fine. I don't want snakes. I'm scared of snakes. Honestly, terrified. Not really that terrified, but I would just prefer not to be near them. That's my my big deal. Today's date is April 11th, the release day of this podcast episode, so you're going to be sharing the same birthday as Jeremy Clarkson if your birthday is April 11th. Jeremy Clarkson, he is going to be turning 65 years old. Can you believe that? He looks, I hate to say it, he looks a lot older than what he presents himself. I mean, I thought he was way older, but you know what? Don't let age deceive you like that. Just because you look older doesn't mean you're older. 65 is pretty young still. And he's accomplished so much in his lifetime. He's still got years and years to go. Oh, man. Top Gear and the Grand Tour, two phenomenal shows. I really need to get back to watching those shows. It's been a super hot minute. My problem is I think Top Gear is on a service that I don't pay for whatsoever. And I don't really do Amazon Prime either. I mean, there's so many streaming services out there. You got Hulu, Netflix, you got Max, you got Peacock, you got Disney, you got so many stuff, and like it's not cheap anymore. Stuff used to be like $10 or less per month. Now it's like, let's just start making these bundle deals. Let's start jacking the prices up. And if you pay like the lowest tier, let's say like you pay for a subscription that has different tiers. So one tier is $7.99, the second is like $10.99, the other is like $15, and it comes with perks. You pay $7.99, you still get the service, but you have to watch ads. Why? I'm already paying you guys. Why do I have to watch ads? And I get it though, because they place ads so they can make extra revenue. You pay more and you satisfy whatever subscription you're paying, and they take away your ads. It makes sense. I mean, if you pay double the price, sure, whatever. But I'm not going to pay double the price. But I also don't want to watch ads. I don't know. I remember the good old days where you could just watch freaking whatever you want for $10 or $9.99 and be happy. I miss the WWE network. I don't get that anymore. Now I have to rely on other brands and services like Peacock and Netflix for wrestling, and Max. Except Max, I like. They have almost everything AEW related on Max. So Max I'm happy with. But on both Netflix and Peacock, they make it super hard to, like, I don't know. It's not as organized as what WWE Network was. And I feel like those two brands don't have all of WWE's content either. Now, I will say the glorious thing about WWE is that they have a YouTube channel called WWE The Vault. And they've been uploading all sorts of crazy stuff. That feels like an actual library. And what's great about YouTube is that they get paid a lot for that, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's their content, why not? So they get all this ad revenue coming in, and holy smokes, I'm sure it must be glorious, and I'm sure abusing YouTube system is like the best thing going on for them. I can't blame them. I can't blame them. If I had all that content, sure, screw it, upload it for free, and just let the ad revenue come in. I mean, it's genius. That's what I would do anyways. Dogs are the best people. It's also April 11th, which is funny, National Pet Day. Give a little extra love and pampering to your pet, or if you can, take a plunge to enrich your life and the life of a smaller friend by adopting a pet. Man, what a great day to celebrate National Pet Day of April 11th. It should be a nice day. That's what I like about April, is that it's getting nicer. The day is getting hotter. The nights are now fresh. They're not hot. They're not cold. I don't know. I like getting closer to summertime. Summertime has got to be my favorite time of year. I just like hotter weather. Just give me the hotter weather and I'll be fine. Don't give me cold. I don't like cold. I hate cold weather. International Pet Day and National Cheese Fondue Day, if you want to know that. Oh, and it's also World Parkinson's Day. You can celebrate the birthday of Dr. J. Parkinson, the first to describe and diagnose the disease. Learn about Parkinson's, donate or volunteer, and raise awareness. Very important to raise the awareness. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's popular as is, but there's never enough to remind you how important diseases are. So, be sure to keep note of that. It's a thing, and you don't know if it could happen to you, because I would hate that to happen to me. I would hate it to happen to anyone else watching or listening or doing whatever. You don't even have to watch this episode. You can just watch any of my content, and I'll be like, yeah, I care about you. I don't know. Something about YouTube. I love YouTube. I love doing what I do. I'm happy I get to be here. I'm happy to make these podcast episodes. I'm happy I get to talk about dogs for an entire episode, even if it's going to be a short episode. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to do what I do every day. So with that being said, I know today's going to be a little shorter than most, but I just don't have too much to talk about. I mean, I do, but don't. I have something I want to talk about, but I haven't exactly planned it yet, or got all my research together. I mean, there's many things I could talk about, obviously, like wrestling and stuff like that. But we're just going to end this episode on the note that dogs are the best people, because there's a lot of people out there that are just mean, and sometimes just a dog helps. Dogs are great, therapeutic, and nice, and there's emotional pet dogs, and there's so much good stuff out there for dogs. So adopt a dog. Just I hope I motivate you to adopt a dog and treat it well and give it fun life. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next episode, but for now, go to bed.